Gambling with World War III, this editorial examines Trump's warning about escalating conflict risks. Too many opposite and unyielding opinions are ranged on the subject, which requires an explanatory note before coming to the point. Opposite opinions means conflicting views. Unyielding means stubborn. Ranged means arranged or presented. This sentence means many conflicting views need explanation. The ungainly White House spat between Donald Trump and Volodymyr Zelensky has gripped everyone's attention. Ungainly is an adjective meaning awkward. Spat is an idiomatic expression meaning a heated argument. This sentence means an awkward clash between Trump and Zelensky captured global interest. But let me make a small point here. Make a small point is an idiom meaning to highlight a detail. This sentence means the writer wants to emphasize a minor detail. If anything, the wordy duel reminds one of an old Chinese saying, "Don't interrupt the enemy if he is making a mistake." Think about it. Wordy duel is a metaphor for a lengthy argument. This sentence means the debate resembles a strategic saying. If Trump's controversial actions at home help to dismantle the global snooping menace of Five Eyes the sobriquet for the dark club of intelligence agencies of the US, UK, Australia, Canada, and New Zealand, is it not a matter of relief for the rest of the world? Dismantle means to break apart. Snooping menace is a metaphor for intrusive spying. Five Eyes is an idiomatic nickname for a spy alliance. This sentence means if Trump weakens global spying, it may relieve others. Cynics may consider the views of Edward Snowden on the subject. Cynics means skeptics. This sentence means some might turn to Snowden's opinions. It was his revelations about the Five Eyes intelligence alliance that exposed how the US and its allies spy on citizens and share their information. Revelations means disclosures. This sentence means Snowden's leaks showed widespread surveillance. On the diplomatic circuit, if Trump's actions in the war in Ukraine stop the meat grinder from wasting more human lives and also helps undermine the corrosive transatlantic military alliance of old colonial powers, should the rest of the world rejoice or go into depression? Meat grinder is a metaphor for brutal warfare. Corrosive means destructive. This sentence means if Trump reduces war deaths and weakens NATO, should we be happy or sad? This sentence means some believe Putin is the bigger danger. Zelensky calls him a terrorist. This sentence means Zelensky labels Putin as a terrorist. Ukraine's constitution forbids him to talk to Putin. Forbids means prohibits. This sentence means Ukrainian law bars dialogue with Putin. So, airy-fairy duels don't lead anywhere. Airy-fairy is an idiom meaning impractical or unrealistic. This sentence means meaningless arguments achieve nothing. In fact, a most crucial observation that was made in the Oval Office on Friday has been buried in the rush to take sides between Zelensky and his host and Putin. Buried is a metaphor meaning overlooked. This sentence means an important remark was lost amid the debate. The point we may have missed was Trump's sound advice to Zelensky, showing him the door. Showing him the door is an idiom meaning to dismiss someone. This sentence means Trump advised Zelensky and then dismissed him. The point we may have missed was Trump's sound advice to Zelensky, showing him the door. You are gambling with World War III. Gambling with is an idiomatic expression meaning taking a dangerous risk. This sentence means Trump warned Zelensky that he risked provoking a global war. It's hard to remember an American president confessing to an ally he had been arming in a brutal war to be wary of the conflict turning into a nuclear war. Be wary means to be cautious. This sentence means it is unusual for a U.S. president to warn an armed ally about nuclear risks. Anyone can describe Trump as a threat to America, to democracy, and so forth. So forth means and other similar things. This sentence means many criticize Trump for being dangerous. No one is taking away the import of that criticism. Import means significance. This sentence means the criticism of Trump remains valid. But valid as it is, the timing of the criticism masks the distress of Jack Nicholson's complaint in As Good as It Gets. I am drowning here, and you are describing the water. Masks means hides. Drowning is a metaphor meaning overwhelmed. This sentence means the timing of criticism obscures a deeper problem. Trump, in fact, made another self-appraisal for Zelensky to ponder. Self-appraisal means self-evaluation. This sentence means Trump offered Zelensky further reflection. He said the Ukraine-Russia war should never have happened. This sentence means Trump believes the conflict was avoidable. It is a fratricidal war indeed, just as the Afghans were made to range against each other with this or that ruse, only to be abandoned because of imperialism's attention deficit. Fratricidal means brother against brother. Ruse means trick. Attention deficit is a metaphor meaning neglect. This sentence means the war is like past conflicts where allies fought each other and were then abandoned. We saw pretty much the same thing in Vietnam, pitting brother against brother. Pitting brother against brother is an idiom meaning causing internal conflict. This sentence means Vietnam was a divisive war. The Iraq War was as contrived as the Ukrainian conflict. Contrived means artificially created. This sentence means both wars were manufactured and unnecessary. The modus operandi was also the same. Give the quarry the kiss of death. Modus operandi means method of operation, Latin phrase. Kiss of death is an idiom meaning a fatal gesture. This sentence means the method was to deliver a decisive, destructive blow. April Glaspie did to Saddam Hussein what years later Victoria Nuland would do to Zelensky. This sentence means both leaders were misled into ruinous decisions. Both were seduced into ruinous wars and then presented with the bill for reparations. Ruinous means disastrous. This sentence means both conflicts ended in costly failures. Before the current standoff, ordinary Russians and Ukrainians were invested in each other as members of a larger Slavic family. Standoff means a tense deadlock. Invested in each other means deeply connected. This sentence means Russians and Ukrainians were once closely linked. They shared a common history, most notably of jointly defeating Hitler, although Ukraine had its own variants of Nazi sympathizers too. This sentence means both peoples share history, including fighting Hitler. The two peoples shared the same church, their cuisine, and much of their culture. This sentence means Russians and Ukrainians have many cultural similarities. Ironically, powerful Soviet leaders had Ukrainian links. Ironically is an adverb indicating unexpected contrast. This sentence means many top Soviet figures had Ukrainian roots. Nikita Khrushchev, Leonid Brezhnev, and Konstantin Chernenko were born or raised in Ukraine. This sentence means prominent Soviet leaders had Ukrainian backgrounds. Why was Trump speaking to Zelensky about the specter of a nuclear holocaust should Ukraine continue to rib Russia with foreign weapons? Specter is a metaphor meaning looming threat. In noun, nuclear holocaust means catastrophic nuclear war. Rib is a phrasal verb meaning to provoke or tease. This sentence means why warn of nuclear war if Ukraine provokes Russia? It's possible, as some analysts believe, that he was warning European partners as much as Zelensky about the perils of persisting with a fruitless and calamitous conflict. Perils means dangers. Persisting with means continuing. Fruitless means unproductive. Calamitous means disastrous. This sentence means Trump may have warned Europe about continuing the conflict. Now that Russia and the U.S. appear to be on the same page in the standoff, where could the trigger for a catastrophe be lying? On the same page is an idiomatic expression meaning in agreement. This sentence means with Russia and the U.S. aligned, the cause of disaster is uncertain. There are several triggers, not least in the Middle East, while the South China Sea continues to be another volatile region. Triggers means potential causes. Volatile means unstable. This sentence means various regions could spark conflict. But the real Russian roulette that Trump was cautioning about is being played out in London by none other than the usual suspects. Russian roulette is a metaphor for a risky gamble. Usual suspects is an idiom referring to familiar troublemakers. This sentence means the real risk is unfolding in London. A coalition of the willing is being hustled together. Coalition of the willing is an idiomatic expression meaning a group of eager allies. Hustled together is a phrasal verb meaning assembled quickly. This sentence means a group of allies is being quickly formed. Keir Starmer and Emmanuel Macron, both struggling with terrible popularity ratings at home, insist they want to put boots on the ground in Ukraine. ostensibly to strengthen Zelensky's hand in the event of a ceasefire. Boots on the ground is a phrasal verb meaning military presence. Ostensibly means apparently. This sentence means Starmer and Macron want a military presence in Ukraine to boost Zelensky's position. Credible analysts see this as a poisoned chalice for Putin. Poisoned chalice is an idiom meaning a harmful gift. This sentence means experts view the coalition as dangerous for Putin. After all, Russia waded into Ukraine to vacate the possibility of having NATO members on its borders. Waded into is a phrasal verb meaning entered slowly. Vacate means remove. This sentence means Russia entered Ukraine to prevent NATO expansion. European leaders know Putin would never accept them as neighbors. This sentence means European leaders understand Putin opposes NATO on his borders. Moreover, as implied by Trump in his second term in office, the West, more specifically NATO, had deliberately provoked Putin. Provoked means intentionally instigated. This sentence means Trump suggested NATO deliberately agitated Putin. The UK has been stressing that a Russian victory would pose a threat to Europe. Stressing means emphasizing. This sentence means the UK warns that a Russian win endangers Europe. Does the claim have any basis in fact? This sentence means, is the claim true? Or is it rooted in Britain's history of Russophobia? Russophobia means fear or dislike of Russia. This sentence means the claim may stem from historical bias. Ever since Churchill's Iron Curtain speech and the rise of James Bond, Russophobia has only prospered. Iron Curtain is a famous metaphor by Churchill. This sentence means British fear of Russia has grown over time. The chorus in the Biden days was that Russia had lost the war. Chorus is a metaphor meaning a common opinion. This sentence means many claim Russia was already defeated. Trump poo-pooed the claim and effectively said it isn't happening. Poo-pooed is an idiomatic expression meaning dismissed. This sentence means Trump rejected the idea that Russia lost. His predatory fangs are out for Ukrainian minerals instead. Predatory fangs is a metaphor meaning aggressive ambitions. This sentence means Trump is focused on extracting Ukrainian resources. He won't be unaware that the Ukraine war is also known as Hillary Clinton's revenge for Putin's indiscretion of stalling her dismantling of Syria a la Libya in Antony Blinken's company. This sentence means Trump is aware of complex geopolitical retributions involving Clinton, Putin, and Syria. The businessman in Trump makes him instinctively averse to needless risks. Averse means opposed. This sentence means Trump naturally avoids unnecessary risks. He should have been rattled last month when a military helicopter crashed midair into a commercial airliner over Washington Airport. Rattled is an idiomatic expression meaning disturbed. This sentence means a recent helicopter crash should have shocked him. The helicopter was carrying out a mock drill to evacuate an imaginary POTUS to safety during an imaginary nuclear attack. Mock drill means a practice exercise. Imaginary means not real. This sentence means the crash occurred during a simulated emergency. To make it eerier, Annie Jacobson, in her insightful book called Nuclear War, had only recently described a helicopter crash involving the U.S. president who was being rescued to a safe house, but ended up with multiple fractures and no one alive to help. Eerier means more unsettling. This sentence means Jacobson's account of a similar crash adds to the ominous tone. The writer is Dawn's correspondent in Delhi. Published in Dawn, March 4, 2025.